Hi, welcome to GEC Live. My name is Amy Lee. I'm the executive chef for a Good Eating Company, and I'm going to prepare a special Valentine's Day menu for you today. It's two really easy and simple recipes. We have a shrimp scampi with pasta and a Grand Marnier chocolate mousse with some chantilly creams and a little bit of cocoa nibs for dessert. These two recipes are very, very simple. They don't have to be for a special occasion. You can do them any night of the week. So we're going to start with the chocolate mousse first because it takes about 2 hours to set, and you can really just do this the night before as well, so you're not rushed for time or anything. So what we're going to do is start our burner here. I've got a little bit of water in there, and I'm going to make a hot sugar syrup to melt this chocolate. I've got about 6 ounces of dark chocolate here. I'm going to add it to a blender. This recipe calls for 2 eggs into the blender. And we're just going to pulse this until it's kind of chunky and foamy. It's going to look a little funny, but don't worry, we're going to add some hot sugar syrup and some hot coffee to it to melt it. Just about right there is fine. Our sugar is coming to a boil here. I'm going to grab some hot coffee. About 1/8 of a cup. I'm going to turn my blender back on. I'll slowly add this coffee to it. Simple syrup. Best to do this the night before, so if you do make a mess, no one will see. We're also going to add a little bit of Grand Marnier. Some vanilla extract. Please. Okay. Hi. I think we had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but I think we're back on now, which gave me a chance to clean up my mess. So, just to backtrack, we're making a Grand Marnier chocolate mousse. I've blended the chocolate with 2 eggs, some hot sugar syrup, and hot coffee. I added Grand Marnier, vanilla, and some salt, and I'm just blending this until it becomes smooth. That looks good. I'm going to empty it into this bowl. And to make chocolate mousse, you need whipped cream. And I've pre-whipped a little bit, about 1.5 cups of cream. No sugar added because this chocolate is with the sugar syrup is actually sweet enough. We're going to gently fold it in to this chocolate mixture, and we're going to do that in 3 additions. Got my whipped cream. So the first addition, I usually don't worry too much about deflating the cream. Just kind of stir it in to loosen up the chocolate. But the next 2 additions, I try to gently fold it in so we don't lose any of that light airiness that we whipped into the cream. This recipe yields 4 or 5 of these smaller ramekins, but if you're like me and you like chocolate, you can just use a big bowl. A second. Now I'm folding in a little bit more gently. You want to get all that cream incorporated in there. The chocolate will become nice and light. And this works with dark chocolate, milk chocolate, whatever your preference is. So the color's changing. We're gonna add our last little bit. And don't forget, we want to save a little bit of this whipped cream later on for garnish. Almost there. This recipe is very forgiving. If you add too much cream or you add too little cream, it's still going to turn out great. Okay. And we're here. I'm just going to spoon it in to these ramekins here. So it's already thickened up. Like I said, plenty of leftovers for the next day, or if anyone wants seconds. There you have it. Now I would set that in the refrigerator, let it chill for about 2 hours. Overnight is best. And then when you're ready to serve, take it out, maybe temper about 5 minutes, and you can put a little dollop of whipped cream and a little bit of cocoa nib on top, but we'll get to that right after the shrimp. Now we're going to move on to the main course. We're going to do a shrimp scampi with a spaghetti. I've already cooked some of my pasta already. I cooked 8 ounces of spaghetti in a large pot of boiling water that was salted. When it was done, I drained it, tossed it in a little bit of olive oil, and covered it and set it aside until my shrimp was done. So in this bowl, I've got about 12 ounces of large shrimp. I've marinated it a little bit with a touch of salt and pepper for maybe 30 minutes, not too long. For this dish, I've got minced garlic, shallot, butter, chili flakes, lemon juice, white wine, and a little bit of parsley for garnish. So we're just waiting for this pan to heat up. You want it nice and hot. You're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to this pan. And we're gonna sear the shrimp on both sides for about a minute and a half. We don't need to cook it all the way through because we're gonna add it back into the pan after we've made our sauce for it to finish cooking. You definitely want a pan large enough so you don't overcrowd it. Maybe about a minute and a half on each side, not too long. At this point, I like to sneak to the back and try to toss it mousse, but you can do that at home. Gonna give these guys a turn. See, the shrimp aren't releasing as much juice as they would if your pan was overcrowded, so it's pretty important to make sure that you have a pan large enough to incorporate all this. Also, we're going to add the pasta into it too, so we don't want it. We want ample working space. That looks good. I'm going to remove the shrimp and put it into a clean bowl. I'm going to reduce this heat a little bit. I'm going to add a touch more oil, about another tablespoon. I'm going to add in my butter. Garlic. Shallots. And I want to saute this until the shallots are nice and translucent and the garlic is nice and fragrant. Also going to add in some chili flakes. The recipe says about an eighth of a tablespoon, but really it all depends on what you like. If you like it spicier, make it spicier. If you don't, all up to you. That looks good. Now I'm going to deglaze this pan to make the sauce with some white wine. I'm going to come and just turn this up just slightly. Now I want to turn the heat up all the way because I want to reduce that white wine. I'm going to add my lemon juice. And give this about 30 seconds or so to thicken up. A little bit of salt and pepper. Gonna give it another 15 seconds or so, just so it reduces a little bit more. We want this sauce to coat all the pasta. That looks good. I'm gonna return my shrimp. And I'm gonna give the shrimp about 30 seconds so it cooks all the way through. When the sauce comes back up to a boil, you're almost there. I've got my pasta ready to go. Cooked to al dente. Tossed with a little bit of olive oil so it doesn't stick. Let's see, it's thickening up now. Shrimp is cooking through. I'm going to reduce this heat. And I'm going to add in my pasta. I'm just going to give this a toss to warm everything through. I'll try to coat all the pasta in that sauce. And the reason why I turned down the heat when I added the pasta is because I didn't want the pasta to stick to the bottom of the pan. So really just trying to warm it. And there you have it. Quick and easy meal for two. Definitely can be made for many more than that. Yes. I'm going to garnish this with some fresh parsley. And there's your shrimp scampi. Now, back to the chocolate mousse, which is set in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. And I've got my little bit of extra whipped cream that I had saved. Just going to do a dollop. Of cream on top. The whipped cream seizes on you a little bit. You can always hit it with a whisk, loosen it back up again. Garnish with a little bit of cocoa nib. And there you have it. A quick and easy Valentine's Day dinner or any night of the week for two or more. Thank you for attending GEC Live. My name is Amy. I hope to see you again soon. Enjoy.